So, as a remote sales pro, there are 6 mistakes that I see sales pros making all the time, and these 6 mistakes are going to keep you poor. So, if you want to make a lot of money, if you want to hit months of 10, 15K plus as a remote sales pro, you need to eliminate these mistakes and do the exact opposite of them, which I'm going to share with you here. Okay. Don't make these mistakes. Number one, I see a lot of sales pros not taking responsibility. This is the biggest mistake that you could make. Not taking responsibility, where you blame the prospects on calls or you blame the offer for your problems. Now, what I will tell you is this. It can be the case that certain offers or certain prospects are the problem and you wouldn't have closed anyway. But if you're a closer and you don't have a long history of success and you are not a validated closer, as in you're one of the top of the people in the game, you should be taking on all responsibility for everything. This is an important part of growth as well. It's not just like take responsibility for the sake of it. I'm telling you to take responsibility because it's a part of you growing, a part of you getting results, a part of you being the best sales pro that you can be. Because your ability to take on responsibility, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if in the back of your mind you're like, is this actually me? Your ability to take on responsibility is going to directly lead to your ability to grow and to have success because you're constantly looking at areas where you can improve. I'll give you an example. The first offer that I was on, this is close to a year and a half ago. The first offer I had, it was a complete shit offer. It was completely shit. The offer itself, like what they were selling, wasn't bad. It was appointment setting, biz op, teaching people how to become appointment setters. That offer in itself was not bad, right? But the process of how it was delivered, the way that we were getting prospects, the way that we were screening prospects before calls, like none of it made sense. It was all terrible. We were getting really crap leads, people that had horrible mindsets. The business owner was basically a scammer and was literally marketing everything like, look at me in Dubai, you can attract wealth like this. So we just got low quality people coming in. It was so hard to close that offer. I was on like 10% as a closer, which sucked. It was gritting me. It was bad for my mindset and everything. But at not one point did I avoid responsibility. I always thought during that entire time, the only time I'm saying that I know it's the offer is now, but the entire time I was on that offer, I was always thinking, how can I make the team better? How can I close better? And part of it is I needed to get better at my closing skills, right? Like I think realistically I could have probably closed that at 15% maybe because it was actually really, really bad. I was closing around 5 to 10%. I could have probably closed at 15, maybe 20%, and that would have been insane. But the offer itself was like the way the business was run was terrible. But the whole time I always thought, how can I get better? How can I get better? And one of the things that actually helped me in terms of this was learning how to handle objections because I was getting so frustrated by having people who would always say, think about it. I'm going to go talk to my wife. I'm going to go back and sleep on it. I'll have a pray on it. All these people were frustrating me so much. And I wasn't blaming the company like it's the company's fault I'm getting objections. I just thought it's my fault. How can I do better as a closer? How can I close deals and bring them over the line? So what did I do? I decided to go learn how to handle objections. I decided to look into how I can get better as a sales professional, and I did. And I became a master at handling objections. One of the best people, actually the best person that I personally know at handling objections. I don't know anyone who handles objections better than me personally, right? And I did that. The only reason I was able to get to that point was because I took responsibility. So you on your offer right now, no matter how much you think the offer sucks, how much you're not performing, and I'm telling you, it's probably not the offer. Because a lot of closers think it's the offer, but I'm like, if you can perform better and you can step up and take responsibility over your skill set, find ways to get better, invest in your training, invest in your skill set, squeeze all the juice you can out of the position you're in now instead of going around and trying to hunt for some other position because you feel that yours is not good enough. Look at where you're at now and see how you can maximize the most of where you're at now. And that will make you substantially better as a closer. It will make you better as a remote sales pro, and it will give you more income because you're going to maximize the skill set even if the position you're in is tough. Don't avoid responsibility. Take it on yourself. The second problem that I see closers making is thinking, I'm just a closer. And oh my God, this is the worst one. The guys that I train, and shout out them, like my clients, the guys in our program are like so good because I teach them not to think just like closers. A lot of closers think, I'm just the sales pro. I'm just the person who needs to hop in, dial the phone, do some outreach, follow up with prospects, bring deals over the line. But I'm just a closer. Like that's just me. I'm just that. You are a business professional. That is what you are. Don't let the words scare you. It doesn't mean you're running your own company. You got to form a company and hire employees and scale. Doesn't mean that, because a lot of us got into sales because we didn't want to be a business owner, right? But you still are a business professional. Does not mean you're a business owner, it means you're a business professional. You are a piece in someone's business. You should know as much about how the business works as the business owner does. You should know exactly how traffic is being driven. And I'll explain to you why, because the goal of this video is to give you success. The goal of this video is to set you up for success, where you can take this, you can run with it, and you can make all the money that you want. That's the goal. So one of the most valuable things, one of the most valuable assets or skills to have in the sales space is where you deeply understand how business works, because you're bringing more to the table for an organization beyond just the sales skill set. As an example, on my last offer, one of the things that helped me increase how I was getting paid, helped me get more bonuses, helped me have more authority within the offer and within the organization, was I was bringing ideas to the table that were beyond just me as the little closer. So it was like the sales process overall. How can we screen people better, right? How can we gain more compliance and investment from people before they hop on a sales call? How can we attract higher quality prospects before they get on a sales call? How can we change our marketing language? Not saying I'm the marketing guy, but I do understand what we're selling, and I see what we're getting from people on the other end of the sales call. So the marketing team is just trying to get leads in, but I'm talking to the fucking leads. I see who's coming in, right? So me understanding business, I'm talking about this. I'm thinking like, hey, I have ideas and I see the kind of people we're attracting and bringing into the pipeline. How can we make those people even better and get more quality individuals coming in, right? That's huge. So the idea of going beyond just being a closer and knowing as much about the business as the business owner knows is going to give you more leverage, which is the game. You want to have leverage to command more in the sales space, to say, hey, I'm not just the closer who's keeping his head down, but I also understand the game of business. I also understand how to bring more to the organization. This is where things like being the sales manager comes in, or being a sales consultant comes in, where you can make way more money than just sitting on your laptop doing calls. Hey, the whole reason why I'm training people right now and why I've built a community, the community I have is free. So the link is below. I'll put it in the comments, the top pinned comment. Come to my sales training community. I give you so much crazy value in this whole course. The reason why I'm able to do this and give all of this is because I understand business, right? So I understand the whole top to bottom process. It's not just like I'm the closer and I know how to talk and close a deal. I understand the whole game, and you want to understand the whole game as a closer. Don't limit yourself to your little bubble of comfort. I just do phone calls. No, instead it should be, I understand the game of business and I handle the piece of the business that is sales, but I understand how the whole machine works and I can bring that value to the team. The other mistake that I see a lot of closers make, and I want you to correct this, is not following up with prospects. And I'm going to be very open. I was guilty of this myself. As a closer, this was my weakness, and I will be very open about it. And by the way, the reason it was my weakness, I have an excuse. There is no excuse, but the reason it was my weakness is because I got so good at closing on the first call. Like, I was closing at 30% consistently, 30% and higher, depending on the month, but it was 30% consistently. The reason why I was able to hit 30% was because I was closing everyone on the first call. Sometimes I'd get people on follow-ups. That was a thing I did, of course. People I would stay in touch with, people I'd get back on the phone. But the majority of my closes were all first-time closes. One, sometimes a two-call close. I would say if I were to break it down into, because I actually have the numbers on this, it was about 85% one-call close, which is freaking insane. And I got very good at one-call closes. So 80% one-call closes, 10% 2 or 3 call, where we'd have to talk. They'd have to go look at some finances and we put a call on the calendar, and then like 5% follow-ups. No joke. Like I was not just chasing people around and following up with them, because I was closing everyone on the first call, and I was hitting 30%. Now, what I would say is I would have made more money and increased probably to 40%. With my close rate consistently if I would have done more follow-up. But I didn't do follow-up because I loved just closing on the first call. When people would get in like the pipeline and they'd go away, I'd be like, fuck, I have to go chase this person down. Now, here's what I'll tell you. I had the luxury of doing that. Even though I probably was sacrificing about probably 3 to 4K in comms every single month, right? I was consistently doing 12-ish plus per month, 15K in nice, really good months, like consistently. I probably could have pushed close to 20 if I would have hit the follow-up pipeline hard. I didn't, because I didn't like following up with people, and that was a mistake I made. And I train my guys now, you need to be doing follow-ups, and we have follow-up systems and process for how guys can follow up. And when I do consulting too, I tell business owners, you need to have your closers following up, because here's the problem. Most people are not going to actually close in the first call. Like, as in you as a closer, you're not going to be good enough where you close almost everyone on the first call. Like, you're probably not going to, simply from a skill set perspective. But you can follow up with people and you can build relationships. And a big mistake a lot of closers make is not building relationships with prospects. And I'm telling you, this is a mistake that I made, and I'm being very open about it because I don't want you to make the same thing. A lot of closers feel when they come into the space, like remote sales pros, they get on Zoom and they're like, damn, I didn't close, prospect is lost. No, that's a relationship there. Like right now, I'm staring at it on my laptop. I just invested in building a closing tracker for the guys I train, like a private sales pipeline, a micro CRM, I call it, for the guys that I train, so they can have it just in their pockets, a literal pipeline where they can follow up with leads super, super easily. So you don't want to make the mistake of letting prospects go because you're losing money. The goal of this is money. The goal of this is not your stats. Like, I closed one call, closed 25%, and then two call closed this. Fuck that. Yeah, like, that's not your goal. Your goal is not to have flashy stats. Your goal is to make money. So what you realistically get to is where 25% of your commissions can come from follow-ups. You can get to that. 25, even 40% of your comms can come from follow-ups, from even upselling people, building relationships. Don't lose the follow-up process. It's very important. Everyone talks about one call closing. And by the way, when I train my guys, I do prioritize one call closing because that makes your job easier and gets you money faster, right? So the reason I was able to cash out and make 120 plus per year as a closer is because I learned how to close on the first call very efficiently, so I didn't need to rely on follow-ups. But right now, at the skill set you're at, where let's say most people you're not closing one call, which if you are closing everyone one call, good on you, bro. But most people are not doing that as remote sales pros. So if you're not doing that and you're like, how do I make more money? It's going to be in your follow-ups now until you get better at closing a one call and become extremely efficient at your sales process, which is what I do and, you know, what I teach and what I train my guys in. And then you'll make even more money because you'll just be a freaking sales animal. But if the goal is cash in the pipeline or cash right now, bring cash in for yourself, for your family, for your future, well, there's cash sitting there in your follow-up pipeline. So don't let that go. Number 3, big mistake a lot of sales pros make is getting complacent. Getting complacent where you get on your offer, and then I'm on the offer, some cash coming in, I'm going to enjoy life a bit, and I'm going to stop training. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at this, okay? There's 2 sides. I like playing devil's advocate in my videos. If you've been watching me, you know that I like doing this. I don't like these black and white statements of it has to be this way. I like looking at both sides. I do believe it has to be one way, but I like to look at the other side. So I could make an argument that, hey, you're in sales, and if you're comfortable making $6K a month, let's say, 6K, let's say you're comfortable with that, and that's all you want for your family, and you're happy, you're maybe even single, because I think if you have a family, that's poor. But if you have, like, let's say you're single, you know, you're okay. You could go live in Thailand, do some cute little fun, meet some girls, get your little drinks and stuff. Cool. But then life is going to hit you one day really hard because you're going to want more. Like, it's going to happen, right? And you're going to want something greater. You're going to want something more than what you have now. Not because you're money hungry and stuff and I need cash because I'm greedy. It's not even that. It's because there's a life that's of a higher quality that you want, where you want more freedom, right? If, like, the world goes to shit, what's the thing that you can count on? It is your ability to buy your way to freedom. I'm very serious. Like, the world is in a very crazy place. So what's the thing that's going to help you? It's having assets, whether that's investments, whether that's nice watches, like whatever that is, having assets, having wealth, having finances. It doesn't even mean liquid in a bank or, you know, numbers on a screen. I'm talking about the ability to produce freedom because of the cash you have made. That's very, very important. The ability to invest back in your family is huge. Like, my sister's got a wedding coming up and I'm making a really nice contribution for that. Why? Because I'm making money. That's the reason why I can do that. So the point I want to share is getting complacent as a sales pro is going to kill you. That's one side, right? You can get complacent, but the other side, of course, which I just mentioned, is I want more freedom. I want something that's greater. And this is what I would say the people I work with, the guys that I train, the guys in my circle, the people in my network, this is what we aim for. Like, all of us have already done 10K. Like, that's easy, right? Now where I'm pushing is 15, 20K, right? Done 15K this month, pushing 25K months, pushing months where I'm hitting 50, 100K is really the goal right now. So, like, complacency is going to kill you. It's where the complacency looks like you're only practicing your skill set on calls. It's like, I just had a call. Now I practice my skill set because I'm on this call, and that's it. I just practice when I talk to people, but you're not getting better. You're not obsessed with the game. all the best athletes, all the people that we look up to who have made the biggest impact in our world, they obsess over the game. Like they obsess over the continuity of the game or the continuity of the game, continuing to add and stack the skill set. Me right now, I've been in this sales space for a while. I've been selling high ticket for years. I ran my own company 6 years ago, dating coaching company. That didn't work out. We did really, really well for a while, but then everything went to shit last year. Very early last year, got into sales, pivoted, and invested in my sales skill set. And I made a bunch of money, but I'm not done. Like I'm still investing in it. Now I train guys in sales and I'm still investing in learning. I have sales mentors that I look at, that I invest in. I have business mentors. I'm always learning about the game, watching sales videos. I'm watching people sell watches. I'm watching people sell jets. I'm watching people sell homes. Like I'm looking at the whole sales game, all parts of it. Why? Because I don't want to be complacent. Complacency doesn't exist in my life. It doesn't exist in my reality. It's not going to exist, nor should it exist in yours. Complacency will keep you poor. The fifth problem that I see, and this is a big one. We're on number 5. The fifth problem that I see is not being known. This is a problem where no one knows you. Your ability to get offers, to get on the best offers, is always going to be limited based on who knows you. Okay, remember this. Your ability to get on the best offers is always going to be limited based on who knows you. Your ability to find the best opportunities is always going to come down to who can give you those opportunities. So if no one knows you, or if people don't know your name at all, and I mean at all, I'm not talking about where you have to be some celebrity, but if people don't know your name at all in the sales game, if people don't see that you have assets somewhere, as an example, I just got offered a position to work with an agency in a B2B capacity and sell a 7.5 to 25K a month retainer. How fucking sick is that? And they're a really good agency. I got offered a position there. Didn't work out, and neither do I want it to work out because I'm training my guys in sales, so it's a very low priority for me. But there's opportunities being thrown my way to partner with people and build with them in terms of, build their whole sales process and lead the sales process, or partnership in terms of consulting, which is also pretty cool, right? And the reason that's happening is because I'm becoming known. It's because I'm making content about sales. My guys inside my program right now, the guys that I'm training, specifically 2 guys that I know right now are doing this, Rocco and Kyrill, right? And we have Amon. I just interviewed Amon, put it on the channel. Amon also is making content now. They're building a brand. Sati is going to start building a brand and making content. Frank started making some stuff on X. So we have guys that are doing this because they want to stand out. If someone wants to see my calls, I just say, check out my YouTube channel. They're all there. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm about. It's all public. It's all on the internet. It's all for you to see. The goal should be to post content on at least one platform and document your journey as you're closing deals. And again, this is why you want to have a good skill set. But as you're closing deals, as you're sharing info, or as you're sharing wins, show the wins. Don't just have the wins sitting somewhere privately in some little Discord group, but actually share them online. Go on X and post. Make a YouTube video about it. Go on IG and talk about your sales skill. Share it with the world. Don't keep it suppressed. Keep it hidden. That's not going to help you. That's not serving you. Trust me. And the 5th mistake that a lot of sales pros make is offer hopping. Why am I saying 5th? This is the 6th mistake. It's not number 5. I'm going to keep this in. It's number 6. So offer hopping is a big problem. Instead, what you want to do is what we call offer maxing, okay? So offer hopping, it's similar to what I mentioned as point number 1. Offer hopping is where you're always trying to find the next best offer. It's like, this one isn't good. There's going to be one more that's good, and you go through freaking 6 offers in the span of 3 months. It looks bad for your career. You don't find a home. You don't learn anything because you keep cutting yourself short. Whenever it gets tough, you blame the offer. You blame the prospects. No, we don't want that. We don't want offer hopping. Instead, we want offer maxing. So offer maxing is where you squeeze the juice out of every single angle on your current offer. You get everything you can out of it, and you prioritize as much as you can on your current offer and where you're at now, instead of putting it off, instead of saying, I need to find something else that's easier, something that's going to make me even more money because this is not great. Dude, look at your freaking numbers. If you're closing at 20%, you're getting objections on calls, and you're stuck at 3-4K a month as a closer, let's say, that's not the offer probably. That's you and your skill set. Get your closing percentage up to 25-30%. Start hitting the DMs and hitting the pipeline religiously and calling people back and getting your follow-ups up and adding another 2K in comms. Right there, bro. Closing percentage increases by 5%. Let's say that's another 4 sales per month, okay? And then you hit the pipeline and you bring in another, let's say 2K in comms from that. We'll even go conservative. Let's say $1,000 in comms, right? What does that look like? That means you just added 2K per month to your income, right? There we go. 2K. So you went from being a 4K closer to being a 6K closer. Done. There's a solution. And it's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. It's not easy. You have to do work. The problem is a lot of you guys who are closing are fucking lazy. That's actually the problem. You don't invest in your skill set enough. You kind of nerd out on YouTube videos like this, which is cool. I'm happy you're here. But if this is you, then you know you have a problem. I'm describing a problem right now. You watch tons of YouTube videos on closing and you kind of nerd out over it. Then you go and close and then you go party with your friends and you want to just have a bunch of fun. Like, seriously, that's the thing. You're not monk moding it. And I'm not saying monk mode lightly. You're not sticking in the dark. You're not sticking in the boredom. You're not sitting in the boredom, building your skill set to an extremely advanced level where you are the best on any offer that you're on, which is what the standard I have for my people that I train. And then leveraging that skill set to make even more money and then relax later. Then go ahead and relax. Go to hit the beach with your girlfriend. I don't care. Like, do that. That'll be freaking awesome. But you have cash sitting in the account. You're not in a place of struggle. Because right now, if you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, are in a place of struggle, and that's a problem. Okay, we want to change that. That's everything. That's how it all works in terms of the problems, in terms of what mistakes people are making in the industry. That's what I've been seeing, and I want you to correct this. That's how the game works. If you do the opposite of these, you will make money, you will find freedom, which I know you were looking for with closing with remote sales. That's why you got into this, okay? That's all the thing I have for you. The call to action, as always, is to come and join our community. I have an entire map of trainings, an entire course where I show you my calls. I show you how I handle objections. I show you how I bring deals over the line using the Holy Grail sales process. It's all there for you to see for free. It is the best course on sales that you will find for free anywhere. By the way, I can charge for this. If I had to price the value, I'd say it's like a $997 course, like $997, like $1,000, right? It probably could be priced at that point, given the value that I have inside with tons of trainings. And I show role plays, I show live demos, and I show you my calls. Like, dude, it's a school community where you literally can see my calls. No sales pros just showing all their calls, not like little role plays. I'm showing you me handling objections live, me on call. Okay, so if you want all of that, go ahead and click the link below. Join. It's free. I may not approve your request if I don't like what your profile looks like. If I don't like what you say, I'm not going to approve the request. So we have like 300 members right now pending getting in, and they're not going to get in. But if you're one of the people who will get in, then you'll get it, and you'll experience what we do, and you'll see it and get some value. And then if it lands for you, go ahead and book a call, and we'll see how we can help. Okay, that's everything. Goodbye. I will see you on the next one. Come and join us, and let's train. Let's keep getting better. Goodbye.